Welcome to the This Is My Big Win podcast. My name is Jonathan, and our first episode of our journey into uncovering what kind of obstacles people have overcame to get to where they are today. Our first guest is Jeffrey DeSocial. He is the owner and principal of AIMC Business Solutions. Jeffrey is also in the midst of a 30-year IT career and has various ventures in online marketing and health and wellness. Jeffrey is also the founder of Mass Professional Networking. Some key takeaways that we're going to learn in this episode include overcoming shyness, networking tips, and growth hacks. I hope you enjoy this episode, and I'm excited. Let's do this. Jeff, before anything, how's everything going with you?
Very good. Hey, spring is here. Almost here, right? Getting
Okay,
out of a cold Boston winter and ready to start things up.
almost here, almost here. So yeah, we're getting the warmer weather coming, so I'm definitely excited to get back out there. Mask or no
Yeah.
mask, I can't wait to get
We'll see what happens, right?
there. So what are you up to these days?
So, we're kind of, as you know, we've been in a pandemic, but this has been, I would say, one of the better years. Especially with mass professional networking. It's no longer Greater Boston. We've expanded south of Florida, Ecuador, out to California. We even get members from Australia now. So, the good news coming out of this pandemic is just expanding the network. And as they say with your network is your net worth, right? And that's definitely expanded this year also. So, the businesses are going really well. Online marketing. What can you say, right? Everyone's shopping online these days. So that's going well too.
That's
How
awesome.
about
That's
you, John?
awesome. No, that's great. I'm sure you're very busy these days. Especially even with everything that's going on. So what's been going on? What kind of growth have you seen, especially in the last year with that?
So, a lot of companies have started to look at their internet presence. So, we have a few clients who are working right now that they're pivoting. They're pivoting into different businesses. A couple of restaurants we dealt with down in Florida. They had to go to takeout. So, building an online ordering platform through our website platform was a big one. And then, of course, in the online shopping world, what can I say about that, right? Everyone wants stuff delivered to their house. That's gone well. And then, of course, health and wellness. Everyone's getting healthy. A lot of people really focused on their health. I'm really impressed with how a lot of people have actually gone out, changed their lifestyle, and incorporate a lot of home workouts, eating well, eating at home instead of eating out, and of course, taking the right supplements.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Jeff, so I wanted to ask you. So one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on this podcast is because this is all about our big win, right? So, what would you say would be your biggest win that you've seen in your life, or in
My
your
biggest my biggest win came quite a long time ago, actually back in 2007.
hmm
All right, so as you mentioned, I've been in IT for a long time. I'm still in IT. I'm an IT director at a marketing and advertising company based in New York City.
hmm
But back in 2007, I was at the tail end of a career at a large retailer, running an IT team there, and I was like, it's time to explore things out. So I get this email from my alma mater, Northeastern University, about a networking event. And back in 2007, I was like, networking event? What's this all about? Is this some weird dating thing? What is this thing? So I end up going, and it's almost like an epiphany. I met all these people, like, they're positive. Wow. They're nice and they're entrepreneurial. The corporate world, they're like, they want to kill each other. Here, they're like, they want to help each other. And then, long story short, I met some folks that I'm still friends with today and business partners with today. One introduced me to the online shopping business and the health and wellness business. Long story short, that's how I started allmycot.com and AMC Health Solutions. And then, of course, there was a website division. So from that, I spawned AMC Business Solutions. So all of a sudden, you're looking at 2008, 2009, I had these businesses. I was working corporate. I had my side hustles going.
hmm
How do you build those side hustles? You got a network. So over time, I started building that network up, and then I started coming out of my shell. I was a shy little IT guy before. Now I'm like, they call me the mayor of Boston. I'm walking and going to events. I'm meeting a lot of people. My LinkedIn started getting thousands and thousands of connections on LinkedIn. And, it was really nice. So I was starting to help people out, making connections, connecting people to other people, helping them out getting a job, whether it's their next client. And, I was at this time, I was still going to events. And then fast forward to 2013, I was like, you know what? I need to start my own event group. And that's where Mass Professional Network got started about 8 years ago, and been religiously doing monthly events since January 2013 with
Hmm.
Mass Professional Network.
That's amazing. I mean, I've known you for quite some time now, and it's so hard to imagine Jeff DeSocio was actually once shy.
I was a little shy, and I think one other thing I do suggest to a lot of folks is kind of on the side is think about Toastmasters. Like there's these different groups that kind of help you. They're good organizations that help you get in front of people. And the great thing about Toastmasters is they'll say, John, let's talk about this pen. You gotta go up there and talk about this pen. And you can't be afraid to talk to people in front of people. And it's amazing how that works because I saw a video of myself doing a presentation back over 10 years ago. And I was like this. You could see the sweat coming down inside. You're like all nervous and you're doing a lot of ahs and ums. And now it's like, I don't care. I go in front of anybody. Yeah, it doesn't bother me to get in front of a crowd, to go up to people. I don't know if my wife wants to hear this, but I was shy back then with girls. Now it's like, who cares? It's like I go up to anybody because you know what? At the end of the day, we're all professional. We're all here to help each other out. And if you have that mentality and build up that mentality over time, you're going to be able to do anything you need to do to be successful in life because it's all about talking to people. And that's that shy guy, little shy guy to now. That's how I kind of my the road to prosperity started.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool. I mean, it's funny because I've also I've always been a very shy person as well. I mean, I'm sure you could tell sometimes as well. Like I'm that little kid that likes to be in the corner, right, and just kind of watch what's going on. So I could totally relate to you 100%, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that could relate to you as well. But let's walk through this a little bit. So kind of going back to the very beginning days of Jeff's illustrious career, right? So how did this affect you? So when in the very beginning, how would this like, being shy, how did that affect you, whether it's positive or not as positive?
Well, being shy, a lot of times if you are introverted, you're not going to be the one in line for promotions at work. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you have to have that balance of knowledge, whether it's in technology in my case, or marketing or HR, but you also have to be that kind of that extroverted people person. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a blend of those skills, you may end up really get stuck in a career for many, many, many years and not have any growth. So I think that's where I discovered it. That's where I actually made a move into management and IT. It was after I started getting out of my shell a little bit. And I think that's what people are understand is, you really have to have a balance. You could be great at one thing, but really those soft skills are so important in careers today because not only in your career in corporate, but also if you own a business. Because if you own a business, imagine I'm like, John, I own this business. It's great. I got webs. You're like, yeah, really, this guy's got a lot of confidence. You got to show more confidence. And I think that's where I made that transition in 2007, 2008 to be showing a lot more confidence in myself and going up to people. And you see some celebrity dude, you don't feel like, oh shoot, do I go up to him and say hi? I mean, I saw Bill Belichick once at a lacrosse game, and people were going up to him and all that. I was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I go to Bill. It's like I joked with him. I was like, Bill, can I have your autograph? He looked at me like, he had that laugh. And he says, "Oh, they're only fans." But it's like, would I've done that 10 years ago? Heck no. I would have been like in the back, and that's where it kind of built up my uh, confidence in myself to be able to do anything.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to. I'm imagining that interaction with you and Bill Belichick, especially when he has that stern look on his face. I'm just trying to.
He actually was smiling a lot that day. He was watching his son play lacrosse at Harvard Stadium. I actually was at an event. Ironically, it was a networking event at Harvard Stadium, right at a lacrosse game.
Mm-hmm.
That was before my event started. It was another group I was going to. So
Nice, nice, nice. So when you were going through all of this, so like kind of fast forward a little bit. So like later on, what kind of benefits did you see from just kind of getting out of your shell and start networking pretty much all over the Boston, Mr. Mayor of Boston?
well, I don't know if I'm mayor of Boston. We have a new mayor coming now, right?
Yeah,
Marty Walsh is moving on to Washington.
it's wild.
So what kind of benefits? The big thing, and I always talk about this, it's your personal brand. Kind of side up, no, I have a blog, thesocialconnector.com, the social connector, the socio, I'm a connector. So the whole idea with this is eventually you're going to build your own personal brand and become a magnet because that's how you're going to build your business. People are going to know about you. You have to be on the internet. You have to be searchable, right? And how do you get there? By building up your network and meeting people and getting introduced to the right people. So that way it kind of allows you to meet your goals. Now I could say, hey, my goal is to build this really crazy big business, but at the end of the day, and every business person should have this as kind of a mindset is how can I help people, right? How can I help John out? How can I help, that other person at my event, that shy person at my event, get out of their shell? And when you build that personal brand, you're gonna be able to do that a lot easier because people go to you. Because you always want people to go to you. You don't want to be that salesman that goes out to people. They call it inbound marketing. That's what you want to look at yourself to do.
Inbound marketing. Anybody who's listening to this podcast, I think that right there is a huge nugget. It's all about creating that brand for yourself, so that way you get to the point where you no longer have to approach the people, but people come to you. I think that's
They come
it's
to you.
I
It's
love
really cool.
definitely, definitely. So can you tell our listeners, how do you deal with shyness today? I'm sure that still kind of sneaks up on you every now and then.
Alcohol. No kidding. Um, so I think with shyness today, like if you go to an event, we have folks that come to our events and they'll hang by the food or they'll just in the corner. Always remember, go to the host, and this is more an advice to shy people that go to events. If you're shy about networking, always the goal of the host is really to make sure that you're able to network. So always remember, everyone is there for the same reason to meet people, right? And 99% of the time, everyone at a networking event is very positive. They're there to meet others, to talk to others. A lot of them may be shy, just like you. So if you are shy, always remember, start with the host or the hosts. Sometimes we have roving hosts at our events, and then always have that mindset that there are people there just like you.
Mm.
And what I always suggest, and I got a lot of different. I teach networking too. I've done some on-site trainings and all that. Think about some questions. I always hate the one, hey, what do you do, John? Yeah, John owns a business, right? Ask more pointed questions like, how do you market your business? What books have you read? That's a good one. You always want to ask, what books or even shows or podcasts you listen to. The Big Win, great podcast, right? Or, was different questions like that. Like you talk about what was your big win? I think that's a great starter question. If I meet you in an event, how you doing? I'm John. This is Jeff. Hey, what was your big win? And that would really spark some conversation. So if you have these pointed questions, that's going to break your shyness. If you go to an event, I'm telling you right now, you'll definitely do a lot better. And I've seen it's really cool seeing some people. They've come to my events. They were so shy and they were like the mayor at the end of the day. And I was like, good job. And you give them a little positive energy and the sky's the limit.
I love it. I love it. And what do you so what would you say to people who who may have never met you before, or who have never been to a networking event, and you're thinking, I want to go expand my network. What do you recommend to those people? And I know you already mentioned this earlier a little bit, but maybe we could expand on it a little bit more on how to network and just kind of the some of the more better ways of, or some of the more efficient ways of marketing at a networking event or just networking in general.
So I always think about this for a minute, and this is way if you were starting off, there's a couple of avenues you could do. I would start with your alumni groups because that way, if you feel a little bit safer, you like your people that you went to school with, and then also, let's say you're in marketing or you're in human resources, network with people like you, and just get the feel of meeting people and building your LinkedIn. But then eventually you have to expand back. Everyone is doing this at the end of the day to build a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go where your clients are and just offer, show that how, always listen to their pain, then offer some suggestions to them. Because that's like kind of the evolution. That's how I did it. I started going to the Northeastern University events, eventually expanded out to the different groups in Boston. Then I eventually started my own group.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of I always recommended that as a kind of a roadmap towards being the avid connector of events, and being that connector. But because I know it's tough, because a lot of people say, "Oh, what events do I go to?" Of course, you go to Eventbrite, go to your school alumni site, Greater Boston, say Boston Networking, see what events are out there. And of course, come to our, Mass Professional Networking. That's one of the reasons I started the group. It's for all professionals, all backgrounds. And, we would help you out. We do 15-minute consultations on Zoom, I guess now, right? Just if you need help, reach out to people that would help you, that can mentor you before you start hitting the pavement.
I love it. I love it. So, so yeah, can you tell our listeners, how they can connect with you or how they can find you or your networking events besides that?
Sure, yes. So first off, my blog, thesocialconnector.com is great. A lot of great content on networking, entrepreneurship, health and wellness. And then of course, amcbizsolutions.com is our business. And most of all, if we're talking about networking, look for Mass Professional Networking on LinkedIn and Facebook and join the group. We do events every fourth Wednesday of the month. Hopefully soon with a cocktail and at a local Boston establishment, hopefully this summer. But the whole idea is join the group, connect with others in the group, connect with me. I'd love for you to connect to me on LinkedIn and tell us what you thought about tonight's podcast and how I can help you.
Fantastic, fantastic, and I'm looking forward to having a Corona with you, in person finally.
Yes,
So
definitely. We're talking about the beer, not the
the
virus.
beer, yeah, not the other Corona.
Uh,
Fantastic. Well, Jeff, it was great having you as a guest on here on our very first episode. So that's really cool. It was Jeffrey the Social. That was really cool. I was inspired, and I hope you were as well. Check out his networking group on Facebook and LinkedIn. All you have to do is search Mass Professional Networking. If you want to connect directly with Jeffrey, he is on LinkedIn. All you have to do is just type in Jeffrey the Social. He has a blog called The Social Connector, where you can learn more about networking tips and many other topics. All links are below in the comment section. What are your big wins in your life and career? Comment below. I'm very much excited to learn more about what you guys have overcame. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with your friends and colleagues. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I look forward to providing future content for you. I look forward to it. Stay safe.